we are building something that's going to be amazing. We're going to be spending more than $200 million. And when it's completed in a very short period of time, probably about 18 months, it'll be one of the great hotels of the world, and you'll have it right here in Washington, and it's going to be really something. So we build all over the world. We get to know people all over the world, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. When I spoke with the National Press Club, they asked me would I speak about branding and talking about branding and what makes branding so special and so important. And there are a lot of things. And it started with me very early on just by having success. You know, when you're successful, that sort of creates a little bit of a brand. And then I did a number of buildings. I started in Brooklyn with my father, Brooklyn and Queens. And we had some good successes, and I had some good successes. It's a little bit in sports, like if you sink that first three-footer in golf, you have confidence for the rest of the round. So in terms of branding, you have success, whether it's Doral, whether it's OPO, whether it's many, many jobs that I built. But what happened about 20 years ago, I built a building, 5th Avenue and 57th Street. It's called Trump Tower, and it's been tremendously successful right next to Tiffany. And I bought the air rights over Tiffany. And in buying the air rights, I had the right to call it Tiffany Tower. And that was really pretty much, probably 25 years ago. That was before people knew about Trump so much. I was doing really well, and real estate guys knew, but the world didn't know too much about Trump. And perhaps it was a better place, if you think about it. But I had the right to do something, and a lot of people said, you have to do it. And that was call it Tiffany Tower, because I bought that right. So I was going to call it Tiffany Tower. And I had a friend who was a very smart guy and a very streetwise guy. I said, what do you think about calling the building Tiffany Tower? He said, when you change your name to Tiffany, call it Tiffany Tower. So the success really fed on itself. And then I did a book thinking, you know, what's the big deal with doing a book? But I'll do a book. And it turned out to be probably, according to everybody's count, the biggest selling business book of all time. There's never been a business book that sold like Trump, The Art of the Deal. So it was such a great honor. Now, The Apprentice was really interesting because Mark Burnett, who was hot at the time, young, smart, and he was renting the Woolman skating rink, which you know. The city took 8 years. They couldn't get it open. I took it over. I got it open in 3 months for a fraction of the cost. You know, that was a pretty well-known. So we met, and he said, I have an idea that I want to do, but I'll only do it if it's you. And he turned out to be right about that because they had 15 copies of The Apprentice, and I love it. All of them failed, and they failed badly. They failed like you'd never saw. Oh, I love that. Don't we love that when your opponents fail? I love it. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure our country loves it, you know, but I love it. But it's all about winning. I was sort of saying to myself as I'm watching that leadership and branding and all of that kind of success, to a large extent, it's about winning. If you don't win, people aren't going to follow you. Now, there are other qualities, and I believe strongly in compassion. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I have great feelings of compassion for people and helping people and, you know, making people thrive and love their life and take care of people. Now, you look at branding and you look at what's happening, and I told you the story about Trump, The Art of the Deal, and I told you the story about The Apprentice, and I will tell you today you have Twitter and you have Facebook and you have Instagram and you have all of these different things that are so amazing. I have millions of followers, millions. I don't do press releases anymore. If I want a press release, I just put it on Twitter, and I've got a press release. It's so great. It's like owning the New York Times without the losses, if you think about it. I sit there at 3 o'clock in the morning, ding, 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 you know, our country is going to hell. We must stop it. We need leadership. I keep saying the same thing. Nobody's listening. You look at the United States, and let's look at branding. We haven't had a success in years. Where have we had a success? I mean, I wrote down just a few things coming down. We have nothing. The VA, the Veterans Administration, catastrophic. Benghazi, catastrophic. Russia, I mean, Putin has an 80% popularity in this country, where I thought they didn't even like him a year ago. But he's so outsmarting the United States that all of a sudden the people in Russia like him. So I say to myself, why aren't we smart? We used to be brilliant. We used to be a brilliant country. We're not a brilliant country anymore. We're a foolish country. We're a dumb country. We have leadership that is either something wrong with them, or they're not intelligent, or there's something wrong. Can we say that the economy's booming? No. Can we say unemployment? I mean, unemployment's a totally phony number. Massive unemployment all over the place. If you stop looking for a job, they take you off the unemployment rolls like you've got the job. We have massive unemployment. We don't make our products anymore. They're made mostly in China and other countries. Now, the good news is we have tremendous potential. Winning. It's about winning. We've got to start winning. Not one good, and I searched everything. We haven't had one good story about this country being great for years. And it's about time that we started getting the good stories. I'm very proud of this country, but I would say that if we don't act quickly, it's going to be very, very hard to bring it back.